hanging out in the studio on a Sunday where there is not going to be any racing today, at least on the dirt. One of the guys that's on the phone with me right now was hoping he was going to race today. The picture you're looking at was from his win back on June 22nd. That was a DIRTCar 358 Series race. And I know what you're saying. He goes, that Dale Planck standing next to him in the picture? Yes, it is. Lance Willix is on the phone with me. He has 4 wins this year. 2 of those are at Glen Ridge. One of them, as you can see, was from this day right here. And then, of course, he has a couple at Can-Am. He's been doing this for quite a while. He's up in Teresa, New York. How are we doing today, Lance?
Good. Just taking it easy for us today.
And you were ready? We were talking about that beforehand. Sometimes when you're kind of expecting rain, were you ready, or did you have to hustle this morning to try
we had to get the trailer right around. We had to strip that this week because the gear oil pail tipped over. So we were in the process of getting that cleaned up. But we were all ready to go and just waiting for the go from the track. But they rained out at Glen Ridge. So
okay. So tell me about the picture we're looking at in the race on this particular night.
Yeah, it was a series race at Glen Ridge. All the hitters were there. Stewie and Williamson and Mahaney. They were all there, and we pretty much got to the rubber first, and we ended up winning it. And luckily enough, Dale was there to share in the win picture with us.
So so I'm sure you're treasuring this picture then as you look at it right today and going. Was that the last time you saw him?
I believe it was. I think yes. Yep.
Okay. So how valuable was he on this night, and what did he do to get you to victory lane?
Well, he's been building my shocks right along here for quite some time, and it was good with Dale because he'd go up to the fence and watch us in hot laps or a heat race or even a feature and say, the car's doing this and it's doing that, and he would go back and he'd build me shocks specifically for me, and that's where I'm going to miss Dale is that part of it. He was such a smart man and knew just by looking at a race car on the racetrack what it was doing, what it needed, what to change, and that's part that we're going to miss. Part of it that without him being here.
I talked to some of the customers, not a lot yet, but I'm going to try to do more here, guys, over the next little bit as we honor this guy that we unfortunately lost tragically. A lot of guys have told me it wasn't necessarily so much the shock knowledge as it was the coaching that he brought along. Do you agree?
Yeah, I mean, that's definitely with all these young kids and stuff, that were on the big shocks. He was definitely a great coach. I mean, it's Dale Planck. He's been there and done it all. So, when the man speaks, you have to listen.
Were you a follower of his as you came up and things? I mean, when did you first realize there was this guy Dale Planck out there who was winning a lot of races?
I mean, I've been doing this for 30 plus years, yeah. So I've known Dale for and watched him over the years. And when we used to race at Cornwall and Mohawk, we chit chat a little bit. Hey, how's it going? But nothing to the extent of what we were now. And he's definitely going to be missed. But yeah, it was. He approached us about getting on the dig deal, and it was probably one of the best decisions I've ever made.
And you and I were just talking to Brandon, right, actually before this, because we wanted to find out when they actually started doing this. 2016 was when they started working on other people's shocks, and then they built their own shocks around 2019. Were you one of the early guys then that had him working on your existing shocks that you had?
Yeah, I was on the Fox deal with Mike Walton at Fast Line, and it was. I felt we were competitive, but I felt like we were just missing something. So we switched over, and Dale come to us and wanted to help, and they started working on our Fox stuff first. And as soon as they got their own product, we switched right over, and the rest is history.
Did you have results right away, or did it take the two of you a little time to kind of get to know each other a little bit as far as where you want to be in the coaching or specific shock package you might need?
Yeah, I think, we had results right off the bat. We went from being a top 10 car to being a top 5 car in a top 3 car. So, right off the bat, we've seen results. And, without Dale and Brandon, it never would have been possible.
I was talking to Andrew Ferguson, and he remembered a night that Dale had given some advice, and he ended up not following it and went from something like 4th to 7th in the heat race. And I can't remember the exact quote. I'm going to paraphrase here. He said, "That was great, but do exactly the opposite of that next time." What was Dale like? What would he say to get you, to kind of coach you up a little bit?
Well, he would just, like I said, he'd been to every racetrack before numerous times, and he knew what to look for in the racetrack, and he would come and we would talk it over, and he'd say, well, let's try this or let's try that. And he never really got into the driving part with me.
Okay.
But just shock and spring advice and a turn here or a turn there, or, let's add some wedge or let's take some wedge out, stuff like that. And, that kind of thing was invaluable. It's worth its weight in gold, and we're going to miss that.
Oh, okay, so it wasn't necessarily you need to run the high line. It was more than just shocks, let's say, as far as the advice he gave you.
Yeah, it was more than just shocks. It was setup wise. He would say that the track is going to do this come lap 10, and 9 times out of 10, that man was right on what he was telling us. So I never once didn't follow what he told us.
Okay. Is there a particular win that sticks out that you can directly say, yeah, if he hadn't told me this, I wouldn't have won?
Well, I think it's just I can't pick out one particular race, but just many. I mean, all these wins with these past, like we won 8 times last year, and without his knowledge and Brandon's knowledge, and it would have been almost impossible to do it both. Without them guys, with them guys, we could win.
Mm-hmm. And it's been nice, I would imagine, because for a lot of the years, we maybe had 1 or 2, right?
Yeah, I mean, you always had the Intenger guys and Fox and Bill Steen, and it was something, to have Dale approach us and want to help, and we've been winning ever since.
Just that simple. So, and you'll be continuing to run, and obviously you'll be in touch with Brandon about a lot of things down the road. So, hoping we can race this Wednesday. The forecast here on Sunday at 3:00 doesn't look great, but as always, like we were talking about, always plan to race and be ready, right, Lance?
Yeah, you have to be ready. We were kind of half-assed ready today, but
you kind of thought it was happening.
Yes, if you play it on rain, and then an hour before we have to leave, the sun comes out, so you have to be ready.
But that was a lot of rain, I would imagine. And like we were saying, I think every promoter and track operator needs to know when it is time to. I don't really want to try to pack that track because I could screw it up.
Yeah, that's just it. If they get a lot of rain and the tracks are opened up at all, that water goes right in, and it makes they get soft spots in them, and then we get out there and get pounded on it, and them soft spots just start getting bigger and bigger, and the holes get bigger and bigger, and sometimes it takes weeks to get things righted around to where it's back smooth again. So sometimes it's just easy to pull the plug and carry on for next week.
Yeah, and I'll be up to Can-Am soon. If it doesn't happen Wednesday, it'll be soon. Lance is nice enough to let me use his ATV, which will help me get around a little bit. So if any of you guys have like side-by-sides, ATVs, golf carts you bring to the track and you can help me out, I really would appreciate that. So what's next after this? I mean, is Can-Am racing this Friday?
No, we got, like I said, Wednesday we'll go to Can-Am for the PAP shootout if they run. Friday's off at Can-Am.
Mm-hmm.
And then regular show, I believe, at Fulton on Saturday, and then Sunday's Wheat Sport.
Oh, nice. You got a busy time coming up. So, and hopefully you'll get to take a picture like you did right here, like the one we're looking at. And
yeah, we're leading the series points right now. So
awesome.
If we can just keep that rolling and stay up front in these races, we'll be all right.
Well, I hope I see you on Wednesday. Again, it is the PAP Shootout Speed Week for the Empire Super Sprints. That is the first day on Wednesday. It's modified 358s, Sportsman, and the Empire Super Sprints. So hopefully Mother Nature will be a race fan on Wednesday. We'll go up there and see a great show because the PAP Shootout has been going for quite some time. Lance, thanks for everything. Good luck, and hopefully I'll see you on Wednesday.
Sounds good, Doug. Thank you.